Now, that's Nigeria's coach, Eric Shell, talking about the fact that he is agreeing that we made a mistake. I watched part of that match yesterday. I was hopeful after I saw that first goal, thinking that we will hold it till the very end until he made those changes, and that was a costly mistake. He is saying Nigeria was the best of the team, but from your perspective, Miyen, were we overconfident?
Absolutely no.
Okay.
We weren't overconfident, and over the years, it seems we never learn from our mistakes. Unfortunately, when it comes to sports, we now use, or we're now comfortable with the blame game. Everyone is fixing the blame, and we don't learn from those mistakes. It's unfortunate. The last edition of the World Cup in Qatar, the green and white flag of Nigeria was not hoisted in Qatar. Now we're looking at the 2026 FIFA World Cup competition, the first time 3 countries will be hosting the World Cup tournament in history: Canada, United States, and Mexico. Nigeria may not be there. Very, very worrisome. Now, a lot of mistakes administratively on the part of the coach and on the part of the players. At some point in time, we settled for who will be the scapegoats. Finidi George was used as the scapegoats and all that by the Nigerian Football Federation. We were told that we're going to get the best manager, the best tactician that will lead the Super Eagles to glory. And against Zimbabwe, the bottom team of that group in Group C, a group that has Lesotho, a group that has the Amavubi of Rwanda, the Brave Warriors of Zimbabwe, the Bafana of South Africa. On paper, everyone felt it would be an easy ride. But before we come to last night's match, something happened in the previous game.
Against Rwanda?
No, not in the match between Nigeria and Rwanda, but from the opponent's camp, South Africa.
Okay.
A certain player, Mokwena, was illegally filled by the South African Football Association. He was booked twice. He was booked against Benin Republic in 2023. He was booked against Zimbabwe, which means he was meant to miss the match against Lesotho, no, against Benin Republic. Now, South Africa played yesterday, but he was fielded. Unfortunately, this law of FIFA says that in 24 hours, countries need to protest if South Africa will be deducted 3 points. Well, we are waiting the Nigerian Football Federation if they notice that error. Well, so and if that 3 points will be deducted.
Is that what we are hoping on?
No, that's Act 1, Scene 1. Now let's come to Act 1, Scene 2. On the field of play, the attitude of the players and indeed the coaches. In the 87th minute, Child made the substitution. The goal scorer, who was the marksman, the man who has been threatening the goalposts of our opposition, the Warriors of Zimbabwe. He was substituted and Victor Boniface was brought on. You were leading by a lone goal. All you needed to do, with all due respect, if Child was not a baby coach, what you needed to do was to hold on to that 1-0 lead.
Because we just had 3 minutes.
Because we just had 3 minutes to go. Now, if Osimhen is the most important player, if Osimhen is the player that gave you that goal that was oozing with confidence, why remove your biggest player on the night when you needed to win?
Well, he felt he perhaps changing, you know.
You needed more goals when you were meant to secure the goal that you were leading with. It's like we don't understand how the great fall of Nigerian football and the Super Eagles today. We don't understand. I was with Sheyolo Fijano yesterday. I spoke to Sheyolo Fijano and she told me off camera. He said, Miyen, I would appreciate something. I'm saying it on air now. He said, I would appreciate that when we talk about football in Nigeria, let's don't talk about the obvious. When we are meant to do the norm and we are not doing them. Some players were still invited to the national team and we're not meant to be there.
But Miyen, if you look at Zimbabwe, now they struggled to actually, they struggled in this campaign, but then they managed to pull through yesterday for that comeback. How do you think this has boosted their morale, and what impact does it have?
Was that managing? From my perspective, they were all over the place.
So take a look at the ball possession.
Yeah, I think we had more possession.
Zimbabwe came out like a team that wanted it the most.
Absolutely, they looked hungry.
They looked hungrier.
Yeah.
Now the question is, what is happening? How come on the part of the administrators, They are not sitting these players down to understand the importance of the World Cup. Yes, these players can go back to the club sites. They say they know the importance of the World Cup because they want to be at the World Cup. But then, do they truly understand what it means to have the green and white flag hoisted? 48 countries for the first time will be playing in the World Cup. And as it stands, Nigeria may not be there. If we take a look at our previous attitude coming from Qatar and from what we've seen so far,
but what can
South
we
Africa,
do, because of our time, what can we do to get back, on a track? Do we still have that hope?
Well,
for me, I lost hope a long time ago. But as a patriotic Nigerian, I was hoping that we will indeed scale through. But from what I saw yesterday, again, playing in front of your own fans, let me take you back in this.
But are we not hinging all our plans around Osimhen too much?
Yeah. So that's part of the biggest problem we have today in the national team.
Right.
It seems
quickly, because we have to go.
When these players come to camp, they need to understand. You run on the field of play. Take a look at these players when they are playing for their club sides. They run 90 minutes. When you come to the national team, we should see the same energy. We should see the same attitude. And I wouldn't blame Osimhen yesterday. After the final whistle, some of his teammates came to him, tried talking to him. He walked to the dressing room and he said, "No, leave me alone."
Because
he knows the importance of the World
Cup for any player.
For any player.
But we'll have to leave this conversation here now.
Sad.
Really
it's sad. It's unfortunate.
I'm angry.
At some point in time, I'm sorry to say, before I go, at some point in time, there were presidents who set up presidential task force, bringing expatriates to take a look at what must be done for Nigeria to qualify for the World Cup. Do we have to go through that route at this point?
On our home turf.
On our home turf. But in New York.
No, it's
we can't beat Zimbabwe.
We are not out yet, though.
No,
let's just be very hopeful that we get back.
You're looking at the playoffs, Ibrahim? Playoffs for Nigeria?
We have to let
come on, man. We've had enough.
All right. Thank you, Miyen, Akiri, for discussing this with us this morning.